Hey YouTubers, it's 604 Comics here. Thank you for joining me. This is my review for Ghostbusters issue number 1. This was an impulse buy for me, like I mentioned in my pull list. I was looking through the comics and I was flipping through this and it looked pretty nice. It was in line with that cartoony feel of the Ghostbusters, so I thought I decided to pick this up and give it a shot and check it out and see what it was all about. I had did a little bit of research after I picked up this book and found out that this is not a story about the original Ghostbusters, Peter Venkman, Ray Stantz, Egon, and Winston. They've been captured by these ghosts, which this issue actually does a really good job of summing up and summarizing in the first 2-3 pages. Doesn't waste a lot with that part of the storyline, but it does enough that it helps the reader understand what's happening. And then from there, it introduces us to the replacement Ghostbusters. So you can think of this as the Ghostbuster version of the Fantastic Four / the FF. The original Ghostbusters team, they've been captured by, they don't know who yet, but the replacements are there to fill in for them to capture the ghosts that are still roaming around New York. Meanwhile, they're also trying to find out who's captured the original Ghostbusters and how they can bring them back. So I felt that it was a fun issue. Going into it, I didn't expect much. I was expecting the same amount of enjoyment that I would get from watching the cartoons. I watched the original cartoons. I watched the movie. It had the feel of the original cartoon. Maybe it was because I've seen the original cartoon that when I was reading through and reading the scenes with the original Ghostbusters, I can picture how they were speaking and their voices, and it just felt like a really fun book to read. So it was kind of a bit of nostalgia for me. Overall, I think this first issue does a good job of setting up what happened with the original Ghostbusters team and who the replacement Ghostbusters are. So for first issue, I thought it was really well done. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. It wasn't an amazing comic by any means. The art is what I was expecting since I was flipping through it already in the bookstore. And it's got that cartoony feel. Some people might not like how it's being drawn, but I felt it was alright. It's got the animation feel. So 3 out of 5 for real Ghostbusters, and I'm gonna actually continue reading this book. There's also a 2-pager mini story, which I really don't know what that's all about. It's probably a waste of a couple of pages here, and I really don't want 2 pages being wasted on this when it could be added to the main storyline. But oh, the one thing I did want to point out was that I would have given this issue a higher score, except that this book is $3.99. This should be a $2.99 book, but that's my complaint about this, and that's why I knocked it down to 3 out of 5. So there you have it, 604 Comics with my review for the new Ghostbusters issue number 1 by IDW. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys later. Take care.